was very excited when I saw this because it was like literally the first night of the hackathon. Me and Ryan were talking about basically how much we wanted someone to build an extension for teaching extensions, and then someone went and did it. So that's super rad. So let's update this NPC. If I can get back to, how did I get over here? Okay. Hello, Mr. NPC. So we need to update Cedric. Cedric is out of date. Actually, let me see what happens if I try and load this mission in the new alpha. I'd like to see exactly the flavor of breakage that we get. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's crashed. It has crashed. Okay. That is what happens if you use a Alpha 12 NPC on Alpha 13. Let's update that NPC. So we are going to have to do a couple of things to do that. So what changed? So actually I can show you what changed. This is tiled. So when I open Extensemption, you will see on the right here, we have some tile sets. And these are tile sets used to build the levels. So my custom objects is the user-defined tile set. That's where when you're building an extension, you can put your own objects. This is the TwilioQuest objects tile set. So we provide you chests and laser fences and consoles. And then this is the tile set for terrain tiles. So you've got football fields and ancient temple pieces and collections of trees and parts of the fog owl and big old buildings and all that goodness. In Alpha 12, that's the only free tile sets you have. What has changed? Oh, and NPCs are defined by adding a point. Where is my selection doodad? This object here. So you used to add a point object of type NPC, and that was how you created an NPC. Now we have a tile set full of ready-made NPCs, and you roll them out, and then they are ready to be attached to a pug file representing the NPC conversation. So what we need to do to update this tile set to update this extension to Alpha 13 is to load that tile set. And then we need to there should already be a Cedric pug file. We might need to look at a new extension and see whether there's any change in the pug file and how those things are linked up. But we can do that right now. So where do tile sets live? When you develop a TwilioQuest extension, we recommend that you start with our template repo. Our template repo is github.com TwilioQuest extension template. We recommend you start from this. This will give you, the base TwilioQuest extension with a level. It has an example of all the features that we recommend. In this extension, there will be the extra tile set. That tile set is present in the bundled extension, the base, the TwilioQuest base. So if I show you in the Getting Started guide, we have a little architecture overview. There is always this bundled content called TwilioQuest base that is downloaded by the game. When you first enable extensions and set the directory that you want to use, it will create a hidden file or hidden folder .bundled for the base extension. And the tile sets are within that. And so the map that comes with the extension template looks for the tile sets in there. So we just need to basically add the tile set to this old map. The new maps already have it. If you download the map today, you already have it. If you started an extension prior to 13, you'll have to add it. And there are two ways of doing that. In the previous stream, I said that we basically never want to interact with this JSON file, which represents the map, and this is the JSON file that tiled uses. But we can see in here there is a tile sets property, and so you can see the loaded tile sets in there. So we've got the free tile sets. You could add it in here. You could copy the tile set property for the missing tile set out of a new extension and just paste it in here. But we can also just do it from tiled by clicking on this little arrow, clicking add external tile set, and then you will be in your project in the extensions folder that you specified in the game. So mine's TQT, and we can see Extensemption and the extension template, and then this bundled file. If you can't see that, as I said, it is a hidden file, a hidden folder by default. On Mac, you can, if you can't see it in this menu, the easiest way to show it is Command Shift full stop. I think Command Shift period will show the hidden folder. And yeah, once you've got that displayed, you can go to tile sets, and then you will have to change this to JSON. By default, it will be on TSX. You want to change it to JSON, and then you just want to find the TwilioQuest NPCs JSON file and pop that open. And that will give us our new NPCs. So we have a little wide section of NPCs here, a bunch of models from a range of NPCs. Some of these, I believe, well, actually quite a lot of these, I believe, are members of the TwilioQuest team. I think that's Kiara, that's Margaret, that looks like Kevin, that is probably Ryan, they probably have names. That's Ryan, that's Margaret, that's Marcus, Kevin, Frederick, Craig, Corey. So yeah, lots of Twilions here. Megan, nice. Mika. So yeah, with a bunch of NPCs, and obviously this person had set their NPC that you're using with Cedric, so we'll just swap Cedric in. We'll start by deleting the old Cedric by Cedric, and we'll drag our new Cedric over. This one, there we go. There's a Cedric. So Cedric is here now, and we now need to change the properties to match up with the conversation that the extension developer had already used. So when we dive back into our conversations, they just called it Cedric.pug. So we just need to change this conversation to Cedric. And I think the rest of that we can leave as is. So it's that simple. Updating the extension from 12 to 13 was hopefully that easy. So we just added the tile set. From within tiled, we added an external tile set. We found the bundled folder that includes TwilioQuest base. We found the NPC objects tiled set in there. If you cannot find the NPC objects tiled set in the bundled folder, make sure that you have actually ran TwilioQuest Alpha 13 at least once. When you select Alpha 13 in the version dropdown, it will download Alpha 13, and that will download the new assets. And make sure you've got that extension folder and extensions enabled, because when you enable extensions and you specify the directory where your extensions will live, that's where it puts the bundled base extensions. So make sure you have done that. So when you come to extensions, make sure that you have got your extension directory set up, because that's where it will stick bundled. So I think I saved that map. Let's hope I saved that map. I really should have used a different NPC so I could see visually whether... Well, Cedric moved and waved their arms. Hey, it worked! We didn't break things.